Hello and happy Thursday, coming at you live here at Insight Production Studios in Phoenix, Arizona. My name is Robert Morales with my co-host, Kelsey Rogness.
Hello.
There she is. And we are from RCO Network. RCO man, already messing up. RCO Network. Good people, better business, discovering the best of you.
For the next hour, we're going to be, you got me screwed up now too. For the next hour, we're going to be talking to a very special guest of ours, or a couple guests, about their life, business, and all this marketing stuff. We'll be taking questions live, so type in those questions and comments during the broadcast and we'll answer them as we go. If you're watching live, give us a heart emoji because we love the loves. If you're watching us on replay, to put in a wow emoji because I just can't believe you're not watching us live.
So go ahead and like us here on Facebook, follow us at OurCEO Network, Instagram, and LinkedIn. Also head over to OurCEONetwork.com for more information about marketing your business and sponsorships during these broadcasts. Miss Rogness, oh my God, it's been a Thursday. Hey, do you remember those early days when we got into business where we had to kind of do extraordinary things together?
Jelly beans.
Well, I was actually talking about one particular incident. So this happened 2 years ago.
Almost exactly.
Almost exactly. I'm probably embarrassed both of us, but I tried to pick the best picture possible.
Okay, my mouth isn't open in it or anything.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, perfect. I knew it.
Oh my God, this was like 2 years ago, right?
I knew exactly. I mean, I knew exactly what point of that it was going to be.
Oh boy. And then you have the wine on top of it too.
And same sweater. It's perfect. Sweater. I may have been reminiscing a little
bit too. So, I mean, all that to be said, I mean, like when we first started, you know how things were, you know, you were doing loans, I was doing real estate, and still doing real estate. But with that, you know, we had to kind of put ourselves out there, be extraordinary and do these things. And one of those things was getting drunk and playing guitar and being in front of a Facebook Live audience, kind of like now, right?
Yeah. I mean, it was fun. I actually saw that pop up and I was like, I miss like playing, having the guitar, singing. It was fun. I didn't look like that the whole video.
I do miss the reindeer ears.
I still have them somewhere. They're just
so I mean, with that said, I mean, there is significant competition out there. You know, I did some research. You know how many loan officers are out there, Miss Rogness?
Quite a few.
84,000, or I'm sorry, 8,400. I take the back.
Okay.
8,480 loan officers. You know how many real estate agents are out there?
Even more.
Yeah. Okay. So officially I had to double check this because this is some crazy shiznats. So 73,500 real estate agents active in Arizona right now.
Okay.
You know how many people call me periodically about being a real estate agent? And in my mind, I'm saying no, but okay. You know, why not? Why not add another one or two?
Sure. I mean, I welcome competition. It's fine.
So, I mean, with all that said, there's always competition. You always have to put yourself out there. You have to market yourself in a particular unique way with all this competition, you know? And so we have invited some guests, right? Miss Rogness?
Yeah.
To our show. And they specialize in marketing and advertising. So with that said, I'm going to go ahead with their introduction. I got it here. They have been in marketing industry for the past 10 years, from insurance to Facebook sales. They specialize in marketing and advertising for businesses and local celebrities. They manage over 10 employees and have 2 offices here at the Biltmore and Scottsdale areas of Phoenix. Please welcome Mr. Colton Collins and Mr. Jacob Fann.
Dude, that's awesome.
We got to add that studio audience that we don't have.
Love it.
Violet likes the screen.
Please, guys, seriously, this is too much. You're far too kind, all of you. Enough, okay? This is more than the last time. Yeah. What in the world, you know?
So yes, Mr. Collins and Mr. Fann, give us a little bit a rundown of who you guys are.
You want me to go first?
Yeah,
you want me to go first? Yeah, nothing's changed.
You are live.
I know, yeah, absolutely. So my name's Colton Collins. I am a native to Arizona. I originated in the Scottsdale area, then I moved to Phoenix. Now I live in Chandler with my fiance and our 3 kids. kind of got into marketing at a random point in my life. I've been in sales for 10 years, and I worked for Facebook for just under 3 years. And I had done some marketing before I worked there. Started my agency while I was working at their Phoenix office. A lot of people don't know that Facebook actually has an office out here in Phoenix. They operate as a satellite office off of the corporate office in California. It's off the I-17 in Bell. Shortly after I started there, you know, I was good at sales and I was good at being on the phone, but this role was a lot more kind of like the stockbroker industry. What I mean is you have to actually study and learn this industry and the products and the systems and things like that. So I kind of really nerded out on marketing and how to do it, you know, Instagram, Facebook, paid social, stuff like that. Long story short, after 2 to 3 months of being at the company, I was one of their top reps. I was promoted a few times, and then I started acquiring customers on the side, doing what I was doing for Facebook for a few $100s here and there to help some people out. One client turned into 20. I parted ways with Facebook earlier this year, and I've been kind of, you know, full-time ever since then. And then shortly after that, I met Jacob. We partnered up, and we've really just kind of 10x'd our business and really grown it. Obviously, that's a Cliff Notes version. But yeah, that's a little bit about me.
No, yeah. I've had my agency for 5 years. I actually was going to NAU. As him, I'm a native of Scottsdale, Arizona. My grandparents actually own one of the first dealerships in Arizona called Fann Toyota. And in their commercials, they would say, "My Toyota is fantastic." And so the name of our company is called Fantastic Media. So I've been around small businesses all my life. And when I actually was 18, I got my real estate license. So when I was in college, I was doing real estate. At the time, I was coming from NAU Flagstaff to Scottsdale my junior and senior year every week to pay for school.
It was part of that 74,000. You know, so.
Right.
I was going to say,
Way to saturate it more, man.
I know,
what
right?
what are you doing?
The thing is I was only doing rentals, right? Making like $300-400, you know, a deal. And it was something to get me through college, right? And pay, you know, put food on the table for myself. And I had no idea what I wanted to do, right? And I think there's a lot of people our age that are trying to find that. And that's just kind of, I went down here. I found a restaurant that I love, but had no one going in there. And I just said, give me all your marketing stuff. And at the time I had no idea. I was studying marketing, but I had no website experience, no marketing experience whatsoever. And I gave the owner an offer he couldn't refuse. And in 3 months, I tripled their sales, and I taught myself how to code, how to do websites, how to do ads, everything like that, SEO. And then from there, I grew my business. And yeah, I mean, we work with all different types of businesses. And then I met Colton, who focused on the ad side of things.
We fell in love.
It was
really good.
Yeah.
We fell in love.
But
You guys do look cute together. I do like the hair.
Thanks.
Hair
He's the better
matches.
half, you know. He's the, you know, I'm all looks.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a nerd when it comes, right? Yeah, that's funny. I'm a nerd when it comes to everything. I'm like, literally, I get like 2 hours of sleep at night, and I just am a nerd. He's kind of more the enthusiastic person where I'm there coding and learning how to do things while he's, you know, having fun.
Right.
So
Yeah.
Well, I guess since we have you guys on, you know, what is the breakdown? Give us a synopsis of what marketing means to you guys, because that's different, and I think time and time of age or era, it's different for everybody else. I mean, you know,
sure.
50 years ago, I'm sure it was paper, print marketing, but now it's more digital. So what is marketing to you guys?
Yeah, definitely. And I actually really respect the fact that not just in our partnership, but also with how we explain things, we're complete opposites. Obviously, we have a lot of similarities, but the partnership and the opposites attract type of metaphor works out really well for us. The way that I would answer that question is I'm really analytical and I look at the business. So if I was to answer that, I would say, marketing is helping someone grow their business through Facebook groups or paid advertising, pay-per-click, lead generation, brand awareness. And I look at the ROI and kind of the business logistics side of things. What I like about his answer, and I'll let him answer, he gets creative and passionate about his answer for what marketing is. For me, obviously, I got into this business to truly, honestly help families and small businesses. And if we land a major account now and then, I mean, that's obviously awesome. But I like the way that he describes, what marketing is in his opinion.
Yeah, I mean, over the time of having my business for the past 5 years, the definition of marketing to me has changed in my head, right? Talking to hundreds of business owners and a lot of them going through the struggle of utilizing marketing and a lot of times it not working for them. And that's one thing that has hit me a lot is one thing marketing is all about is ROI, to be able to put back more money into your company to grow it even more. That's the biggest thing. And to be honest with you, marketing is right now is a word that's just so saturated, right? Every person that you meet right now says that they do marketing. They're on social media. They do something, right? Mm-hmm. But it's kind of like, I kind of relate it to like a real estate agent, right? There's so many real estate agents, but there's like that 1% that actually do real estate. And they're, the top of the game and things like that. And I think that's a lot of times with marketing. But at the end of the day, it's going in depending on the business, depending on who their target audience is, depending on the people, the process, the people, everything like that, and working your way in the door to see how you can take them to that next level and grow them. Because every business, no matter if they're in the same market or whatever, they're all going to be different strategies, right? Every restaurant that we work with, they all have different strategies to get them to where they want to go. What is their 3-month goal? What's their month goal? What's their 10-year goal? And who's your target audience? What market are you in? And everything like that. So it kind of entails, to grow the ROI. It's all about ROI when it comes to marketing and your return on investment and doing that. And that's my biggest thing.
Right.
Yeah. And I think regarding kind of connection, I think there's a common denominator between all marketing. And I'll let Kelsey, you guys fill in. To me, the common denominator is the emotional connection you have to whatever the product or service is. Because if you don't believe in it, if you don't see it, if you don't trust it, you're never going to use it, no matter how fantastic that is. You know, and there was a segment on a YouTube channel I was watching where, they interviewed Steve Jobs about what his passion was and how Microsoft had a better product than he did. And he basically said, no doubt, I'm sure they have a better product, but we don't believe in creating products. We believe in connecting with people. And I think that's evident in the market industry, or at least the expansion that they've had, so for me, that common denominator has been the emotional connection they had. And so I don't know if that plays into what you guys do. I don't know if that's what Kelsey, I think Kelsey and I have kind of touched upon that before, but you guys.
Yeah. I mean, I think that I agree with that across the board. If we're going to work with a business, like if you have an e-commerce business that sells t-shirts and you've got 5 of them, we want to emotionally connect to not just the business owner, but also their target audience. We want to do research on them, why they got started. At the end of the day, from a marketing point of view, the way that you're going to optimize an e-commerce business that sells that specific product, you might have one of 3 formulas that you can implement, and then they're going to get XYZ for the results. And it's kind of like a plug and play, rinse and repeat formula. But to us, it comes across totally differently when we ask them, why are you doing this? Why did you start the business? Why does this mean so much for you? Everybody has their why. And when we figure that out, it really, truly, especially from an organic side of marketing, because realistically, there's 2 forms, there's paid and organic. From the organic side, where we're doing all the laborious work and finding people in groups and posts and just creating all that content, it really helps us connect more to the message that they're trying to get across and kind of the value proposition of the business itself.
Yeah, I think you've experienced that, right, Kelsey? The things that we've done, we've connected with people, and it hasn't really been the stuff we do or the people, but it's more of like who we are as a person.
Right. I mean, I don't know. I feel like every time that I have alone and I work with somebody, I just connect with that person. It doesn't matter their scenario. I just, kind of get involved in their story. Like, oh, you guys are, getting a bigger house because of, you have a baby on the way or whatever, it doesn't matter. It's not part of my job, to, I guess those things don't matter for the loan itself, but I just like, connecting with people on a personal level. And that's how I've always run my business. So I understand that. And I think that you and me are kind of on the same page with that. I mean, someone calls, a year later, I still have them in my phone and I'm like, hey, how are you? What's new? Right. So yeah, it's a part of business, I think, and sales, just you can be good at sales without connecting with people, but I think it's more rewarding if you do connect and make those relationships.
Yeah. And so, this is for you guys. I mean, is there an ROI for relationships? I mean, there's, at least in my experience, there's no qualitative, number you can attach to that. You can't put a best friend, you can't put them on a dollar amount. There's some, friends that are not better than others. I mean,
Yeah.
there is a gradient of friends, but
Yeah.
No, but I will say is what I will, counter with that in a way is a lot of the clients, especially the ones that we grow really fast, they want us, they invite us over and become best friends because we grew their business, right? One of my biggest clients is he gave me part owner. We have part ownership because of the way we grew his business.
Right.
So you're exactly right, 100%. One of the biggest things that we do is, and I think it's a lot different in this space, is we create that relationship. We don't work with any business that we can't have a personal relationship and practically grab a cocktail with that owner.
Mm-hmm.
It just doesn't work. That's just who we are. And, I give the perfect example with one of our clients called the Coach House. We met a client. I was meeting a potential client there, and it was a Friday night, and they got slammed behind the bar. So I went behind the bar and started helping, right? When I meet with my plastic surgery client, I said that, and they're like, well, you're not gonna be able to get behind and do some surgeries. And I'm like, no, but that shows that we'll do whatever it takes, and we want to get to know you. We go out to dinner with our clients. We figure out, we meet their families. But of course, when you grow a business and you create that relationship with them and take them from that process and through that funnel, then obviously they like you 10 times more, right?
Right.
So
yeah, no, definitely. And I think that's a great way to say it. Obviously, I totally agree with you. There's really not an ROI or a dollar amount that you can put on any relationship, business, friends, personal relationship, family, all of that. But I do think in business, especially depending on how you structure the agreement, if someone's going to stay with you and they're going to keep working with you, the ROI is having the longevity with that client, building that relationship, referrals, because at the end of the day, that's what a lot of the business is all about. So certain things like that is really important.
that's awesome. And as we get to the first commercial break, we're almost at the 18-minute mark. Time just goes by that fast.
Yeah.
So a quick shotgun question then. If there was a reason why people don't or stop working with a marketing company, what would that one reason be? Shotgun question. Kelsey.
For me?
Yeah. Because I threw you off guard. That's what I did.
That's the shotgun.
I thought you were asking them. I mean, why somebody
Well, no,
would
they're
stop?
last. They're
I
last.
guess depends, huh?
They're last before the break.
Oh, okay. Well, why somebody would stop working with any company, customer service, price, maybe the relationship, maybe they don't feel that connection. And so they go somewhere else.
Shotgun question though. One answer. You get one answer.
Oh, well, that was my answer.
Just one. You gotta pick one.
Oh, I don't know. Customer service.
Okay. Mr. Colton?
I think we should say it at the same time. I
Right.
think it's going to be the same thing, in my opinion.
So
This is a test. This is a test of true
So
broship.
go 3, 2, 1, and then we'll say the word.
okay, you ready?
Because mine's one word.
I know.
Yours?
Yeah.
Okay, 3, 2, 1.
Results.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
boy.
I would say results. The only other thing, and I know that we got a break, and I know that it's not really going to be one answer, but I'll just say this as like a saying. It's funny how when you work in marketing, you see people, and let's say like with COVID and everything that's going on, right? Depending on the business and their ROI, marketing is the first thing that people want to cut, right? It's one of the business expenses where they're like, oh, that's one of the first things that we're going to cut. But realistically, it's the last thing that they should cut. And when your business is doing really good, or if it's not doing that good, sometimes it's the last thing that you think about getting. And it's kind of funny how that plays on each other. It really is super important. And I think it's funny that you notice that when you're in this industry, first thing you're going to cut if business is, tanking is marketing. And I just truly believe that it should be the opposite. But yeah, results would be the shotgun answer. So we don't have 12 answers. We'll figure it out.
Hey, there's no finger pointing in this room.
Oh, sorry.
But as we take our first commercial break, just hang in there, guys. We are with the gentleman from Fantastic Media. We have our first sponsor, so we'll be right back.
I knew I had much more to share. I knew I had passion for more things. I believe in fitness, but I believe in much more than that. I didn't want to make it just about the body, but I want to make it about the mind and the spirit too. God has blessed me with a lot of energy and strength and fire. I can feel it in me, and to make others feel good. And I love doing that. No matter what happens, up or downs is part of the ride. That's how we become the person that we're meant to be. If we embrace life how it's supposed to be, that's how we can become the best versions of ourselves. Happiness is something that we can work from our internal work. Everything about the present moment or how beautiful everything can be when we actually embrace the moment. Lalita Wellness is a dream that we as human beings can be complete and happy if we concentrate in the priorities that we should concentrate. This is Lali Peña, owner of Lalita Wellness, and this is our CEO network. I feel awesome. I love it, love it, love it.
Thank you, Miss Lalita from Lalita Wellness. Now we're back to you here with our show, with our special guest, Colton Collins and Jacob Fann from Fantastic Media. Kelsey.
Type in those questions. Keep giving us the love with the heart emojis. Wow, emojis are good too. With anything good that you're hearing today, and keep the comments and questions coming. We also have a giveaway at the end of the show, so stay tuned.
Yeah, it's a real good giveaway. It's actually a couple, right, Kelsey?
Yes.
Yes. Oh boy, we got to read our notes.
They're on my screen.
I won't give you any more credit.
I love this, man. This is awesome.
So yes, we're back with the guys from Fantastic Media talking about marketing and connecting with people. So I think the theme we left with at the last segment was regarding kind of organic growth. And when we talked offline before this past Tuesday, was more about word of mouth advertising, organic growth, connecting with people. I want to focus in on that because I feel it's very relevant, very focused on what we do at OurCEO Network. And it coalesces, it combines with what you guys, I believe, are trying to do. So do you want to kind of expand upon that a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he's kind of the master of the organic. I mean, we both bring our value to the business. I absolutely can speak about the organic side. I mean, that's something that
I'll let you speak on it.
You want me to speak on the organic side? Yeah. So here's our next commercial break. Why don't you get that going, Robert? You know, no. So I mean, I seriously though. So you know.
No, I mean.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Go with the organic.
One at a time.
Look, at the end of the day, every business is different, right? And that's the biggest thing. Depending on the strategy, depending on when we meet with them for the first time, we figure out what they've done in marketing, if they're doing any paid ads, if they have someone that's controlling their social media. When you do a post, how many people is it reaching? What's the results? Because at the end of the day, you could spend $50, you can spend $500, or you could create the best content in the world. But if it's not getting you in front of the right people and you're not putting it in front, like I said, if you're not generating the results, then there's no point, in my opinion, right? And a lot of times we meet with business owners that are like, look, we put out the best videos and things like that, but we only reach this many people. We don't get any results when we do a post on our page. And that's what we focus on a lot of times. You know, one of our biggest clients, Scottsdale Window Coverings, what I'm a part owner in, they do blind shade shutters. All of it, I grew him from $30,000 a month to $450,000 a month. And all of it was organic, going through different Facebook groups and sharing his posts and coming across it in a personal way of, here, check out these blinds and shades. And then as well, going through Nextdoor and targeting homeowners. So depending on the business and depending on who their target audience is, we optimize those social media platforms. If it's a professional athlete, we optimize his Instagram and his YouTube channel and different things like that. If it's a restaurant, it's going to be certain platforms that are different than other businesses that don't need that. So we have never been, and why businesses like us is because we don't focus on followers and likes and anything like that. We focus on tangible results that a business can, at the end of the month, can literally look at and say, I can measure these results that my marketing company is doing. And that's the biggest thing. Most of the businesses that we work with don't give a crap about social media. They don't want to be on social media, but when their phone rings or when someone comes to the door or whatever, they know that that came from Facebook, or that came from Instagram, or that came from Nextdoor, or that came from Google. And that's what is big. It's all about being tracked and creating tangible results, that this post generated this many results, this post took this many people to the website, and creating a funnel so that it leads to lead generation and ultimately sales.
Yeah, and I think thinking about platforms, right? I think everybody has an idea, gives advice about which platform to take, and we've taken on Facebook and tried to master just this realm because there's just so many different areas, and Kelsey can pipe in too, because I think we've gone back and forth on a couple different venues and or these platforms, I should say. And again, Facebook has been that kind of it's been that good and bad resulting kind of thing. Good in the fact that you can get immediate results, see who's liking your stuff, see who's commenting, and then bad because they're liking and commenting or not. I mean, there's some crappy posts you put out there and you don't get nothing, and you're like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have done that. I mean, Kelsey, I mean, you can kind of fill in with some of that too.
So ironically, this morning, I had to get up to take my dog to the vet, and I was just sitting in bed, kind of looking through Facebook, and this ad popped up. I'm not going to say what it was, but there was an ad popped up, and I actually shared it on my personal page, and I was like, this is the greatest commercial I've ever watched. It was like a 10-minute commercial, maybe even longer. And I sat there and watched the entire thing. And I was like, oh my goodness, like this caught my attention. But it's funny to see that there's a lot of things that you just scroll past and you're like, oh my gosh, I saw this again. And it's really about like what you're capturing and what you're sharing with people, because different people are always going to see it different. Maybe everyone thinks that commercial's trash, but it got my attention. So it just depends on your market, I think.
Yeah. And I think,
sorry.
What I was going to say is that I think the basics of marketing are, and then this is what I've articulated to our either our guests or anybody that we've helped as far as small business goes, is frequency and consistency. So frequency, that you're seeing the ad or whatever you're sponsoring, whatever you're doing on a frequent level, whether it's once a day, once a week, whatever, because this has to be frequent, maybe not annoyingly frequent, depending on what it is. But then there's also consistency in message. So, and that could go for any company. I mean, you have to kind of adhere to what your mission and vision statement are. And so if there was a takeaway, and I asked you guys if you earlier if you had takeaways, but the takeaway I have for our audience is make sure that your message or whatever your media is, whatever you choose it to be, it's consistent with whatever your mission statement or whatever your vision statement for your company is. And that's why it's critical to create that and have that for you. Do you guys see anything different or have any advice other than that?
No, I mean, kind of what Kelsey was saying. I think it's, I've noticed and talked to the team, and I've been, doing this for a while, to where you could think that one post is it's a bad looking post and things like that, but it can generate a ton of results. Vice versa, you can put out the best video out there ever that you think is just professional and it generates nothing, right? And that's what I've seen. And it's just interesting to where, depending on the day, depending on the time, depending on who the audience is, you could do one post one day and it can generate a ton of results. You could do that same post in another group 3 days later and it can generate nothing, right? And that's the weird, great thing, good thing that happens with social media, with their algorithms and everything like that.
And I think that that's something that's super. And by the way, I knew that by you talking first with this subject, it would spark a bunch of ideas with me too. So, I mean, I think the coolest thing about this, and not rewinding too much at all, when I started my agency originally, when we were two separate entities, I only really offered one service. It was just paid advertising. I don't expect everybody that's, watching this to understand that, but if you're scrolling through your Facebook feed and you see something that's like learn more, or it has a call to action, that's a paid ad that's in an ad account through Facebook and all this other stuff that we don't have to get into. That is what I did, and that's one of the services that I offered. The cool thing about when I met him is he wasn't offering any paid advertising. He was doing 100% organic. I was doing 100% of this. So it was like, oh my gosh, I've been searching for you for so long. Where have you been? And one service and 5 services has grown into like 15: Google Ads, SEO, YouTube, Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, content creation, all these things, right? The cool thing about the organic side versus the paid side is that the paid side is literally almost kind of like the stock market. What I mean by that is it operates off of a bid and auction system. You're bidding against other people. If there's companies that are spending thousands of dollars, your ad is going to serve if you're spending $10, but it's going to fall in this area. It's heavily affected by the election, Black Friday, holidays, all this different stuff, right? So the cool thing is when you're building an ad and you're selecting a piece of content, a video, a GIF, a slideshow, whatever description you want to put in there, you still have to be creative and you still have to connect with people. But if you're doing the organic side of things, it's more labor intensive because, everybody in our office, they need to make several posts every hour, follow the algorithms with Instagram and Facebook and things like that. But you have a lot more freedom to be able to connect and do different things that can really drive some different results. And that's why at the end of the day, from a marketing and advertising point of view, if your business is doing both paid and organic, you're going to be optimizing and running on both cylinders. If you're just doing organic or you're just doing paid, depending on the nature of the business, sometimes one of those products is going to cater to you a lot more importantly than the other starting out. I'll just give you one example. If you have an e-commerce store through Shopify, if you don't have an ad account, you're dead in the water. That's just how you optimize that. But for some of our clients that are doing lead generation or restaurants and realtors and things like that, you don't really have to run paid ads. I mean, you truly don't. You can do more on Nextdoor and optimize those platforms just by doing things organically. So I think that's really cool.
Yeah, I mean, the other thing I think that plays a part into it, and I guess I'm moving to maybe even a separate topic, but I was telling Robert recently when we talked, the first 30 seconds, 15 seconds, whatever captures attention, I feel like attention spans are, less and less with so many things with social media. You have TikTok, all these things that are just like instant. You can see it for a couple seconds and you're like, oh, I want to learn more. And I feel like that's played such a role versus back when it was just TV. And you'd like watch TV and you'd see a commercial for, I'm sure, Jacob, your parents knew with the dealership, it's fantastic Toyota, right? Mm-hmm. So, I mean, that caught someone's attention, but it was a longer scale. And now it's just, things are so compact, I feel.
Yeah, it's the same thing of like a website, right? They say that the average person spends less than 12 seconds on a website.
That's the bounce rate.
Yeah. So you literally have to capture their attention like that, or you're going to lose them from your website.
See,
so
I know about organic. I knew that was bounce rate.
Right.
I knew that was bounce rate. I am smart. I don't care what
the one thing I can say is when it comes to social media, you think about your newsfeed. When it comes to the marketing and social media, it's all about capturing doing something so that when they're scrolling through their newsfeed, you capture their second in 1 second, say, wait, what did I just see? And then you go back and that's where you capture them. And that's one of the things that we try to hit with our client is that, like I said, you have people scrolling all day through their newsfeed. You need something that's going to capture their attention right away. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, she's exactly right.
So from a standpoint of like, hey, I'm a new starter business, because that's a lot of what our audience is. They're just people with ideas who are like, I have this idea and I want to get it started. Is there any kind of advice or any kind of takeaway that you can kind of announce or give where it gives immediate results or at least something seeable? Again, if I'm starting an e-commerce business and I'm like, I need to get my name out there, or if I'm a new agent, I need to put myself out there. Is there anything that you can kind of give a niblet on that you can advise somebody to do first?
Get on Nextdoor.
Yeah, I would say get on Nextdoor. A lot. It's funny. The number one question that I asked when I was working at Facebook, and it was their call center type environment, direct response center, whatever. Yeah. I don't need to go into that role too much, but I was just building relationships with clients over a certain period of time, hitting KPIs, raising their revenue, and then we'd part ways, right? essentially, I think one of the things that's super important, one of the questions I would ask was, are you working with an agency? Are you doing it in-house? A lot of people are doing it in-house, but a lot of people still understood that whether they're doing it themselves and they're doing it incorrectly, but they know it's like almost like what you hear, like, I know that I need to do marketing. I would say to any new business, try to figure out how to do marketing. If the finances are not there just yet, try to figure out how to do it yourself, because even a little bit is better than doing nothing. But when you do get to the point where you can bring in someone that knows what they're doing, or you have the time to learn how to do it, I mean, marketing is something that can definitely 10x your business. I remember when we were, working at Facebook, because we have out of the 8 or 9 employees that we have, there's 3 people here that work there. When I left, I was able to pull a couple people away, and then one person was already working here as well. The one employee, Andre, was there like 8.5 years, and we just got a lot of people in here doing this. The one thing we used to talk about all the time was, if you're not doing organic or paid social media marketing and advertising, it's very similar to billboard advertising. The thing with billboard advertising is that there could be thousands of people driving by that billboard every day. You have no clue who's taking the number down. You have no clue of anything about their demographics. You don't know their name. You don't know you don't know that information. So I think there's a lot of ways to think outside of the box, and it's not always costly that you can do. But the whole point of this is, you definitely need to be marketing, regardless of what the business is.
Yeah, I mean, to answer your question, it depends really on every single business. If you're a real estate agent, at the end of the day, when it comes to digital marketing, like I said, it's the right platforms. If it's I tell all my real estate agents that we work with, get yourself on Nextdoor. Get people to recommend you on Nextdoor. Yeah. We optimize Nextdoor a ton to generate leads for real estate agents.
We say work with us, but we also say get on Nextdoor.
But the biggest thing is that one thing that I notice for a lot of businesses, and I meet a lot of people, is that they'll do videos and they'll do content, and they just see the numbers of people that are viewing, and they get distraught. They're like, oh, I do videos every single day, but I don't reach this many people. And what I tell them is just keep being consistent. Yeah. Just keep being consistent. Post as you're doing, do more. The more content, the better for you. And that's the biggest thing. When we work with a business and we're just starting, there's these, we have a guy that is like an Instagram guru, right? And we argue a lot because he's like, you're only supposed to post, this many days a week. And I'm like, dude, if you're a new business, you need to post as much as possible to start getting your name, because the more reach we get, they're going to be going to your platform and they need to see more content of you. So that's what I would say, depending on the business and depending on the person. At the end of the day, though, it's content, and getting, building that brand of your name so that when people come to your social media platform, they see relevant content of what you're trying to get out.
So let's peel the layer back just a little bit more. What is organic growth? What is organic? Like,
when we say organic,
I mean,
when we say organic, it means that there's no cost per lead, right? When you do a Facebook ad, you're putting in, and this is where he's probably going to get into it.
Yeah,
right?
No, you keep going. I'm going to let you
Usually, right, when you do Facebook ads, you have the retainer that you're paying the people that you're working with, and then you have the ad account that you have to fund, right? So you're paying Facebook, and that's why we say it's paid, because you're paying a retainer and you're paying to get in front of people, right? So you could be spending $1,000 as a Facebook ads and then $1,500 for a retainer. When it comes to organic, you're not paying a ad account. You're only paying the retainer for the manual work of generating leads. So when we generate, let's say 75 leads a month on organic, that means all 75 leads that I got that real estate agent are all organic. I didn't have to pay for them. It was all through Facebook groups, Nextdoor, Instagram, whatever that is, and we didn't have to pay for it and spend any money when it comes to the ads or boosting or things like that.
And I think one of the things, really quickly, if I may.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
You may.
Yeah, you may.
I'll let you. Right. Like I have to ask. So I think one of the things that's super important, and this is personally what I like about us, that's biased, but this is what I don't like about some other, because I have friends that work at other agencies. Like I said, I used to ask that question on 10 to 15 phone calls every day at work for like 3 years. What I don't like about some other businesses that are out there, they're very, very unrealistic. about what it takes to be on paid advertising. Now, I don't want to sell paid advertising like it's a Mercedes or an Audi and it's something that's super expensive. But if you're talking to certain marketing and advertising agencies and someone's like, I really only have $10 a month that I can put into my ad account, they'll be like, yeah, absolutely, that's enough. We'll be totally fine. My opinion, they want the business. They don't really care about the person, because realistically, without getting too specific, if you're going to spend a marketing budget on a monthly basis, and this is backed by Facebook, this is like facebookbusiness.com, this is what I learned. If you're not going to be able to put like $1,000 a month into your ad account minus any retainer, you're going to get eaten alive in the bid and auction system. I mean, 15 to 20 bucks a day is the average that you want to spend to fall in the auction. And I know some of this might be high level auction, all that stuff, but that's kind of what you need to do. So backing his point and getting a little more on track, if it's $2,000 a month for your ad spend to optimize your account, $2,000 retainer, if we can set somebody up on organic, it's half the cost. And especially for some businesses that are starting out, that's a lot more attractive. And the way that we like to build and grow with our businesses and our clients, let's get them to the point where they can operate on all cylinders and have the revenue. It's not like we're going to take our retainer higher. If their business is going to do better by putting it into ad spend that, quite frankly, Facebook gets, and that's going to help their business, I'd rather take them in that direction than kick the retainer up to 4K or 3K and 1,000 on ads. You know what I mean? So things like that make us as amazing and special as we really are.
So you're saying not to invest in a guitar and reindeer ears. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, 100%. So right now I see things on both screens with both of you, for sure. Yeah.
I mean, those reindeer ears are only $10, and that's a very effective advertising.
Yeah, it's a pretty serious thing. There's at least 29 or 30.
I think we got 100 likes on that video.
So
I think we got 100 likes on that tree back there, Robert, to be honest with you.
Well, on that video and others, we actually were able to get people like on a live stream, able to like watch us live. And actually there was a point where we were doing like live suggestions. We didn't even practice the song. We were just like, okay, sure. I know it. Do you know it? Perfect. He'd pull up the tab.
No. I didn't know it.
Well, we pulled up the tab and we would play it. And like, people would keep requesting stuff. And like the next week we would have requests, but life got busy. We stopped doing it. So again, it goes back to the point of like, what are you doing to capture the first 15 seconds, right?
Nice.
Like maybe it was Facebook saying that I was live and it was like, oh, hey, Kelsey never goes live. So let's check it out. And then they're like, oh, okay, we've never heard her sing ever.
Yeah, and it was kind of weird. We did have our own little audiences kind of following us. We had the regular people, I guess, guests, so to speak. And it was amazing. It was kind of great. And I do miss that, Miss Rogness. I do miss that.
Oh, maybe it's time for a reunion.
Maybe it's time.
Yeah.
Get back.
So I know that this
the
is
band back together.
I know this is technically about us, and I'm not the guy to say that way. But I'm assuming that she sings and you play the guitar, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Awesome. Great.
I sing a little bit, but just not as good.
Yeah, no, for sure. I would love to figure out.
I'm more of a baritone than a tenor.
Do you guys play instruments?
So I actually played the piano for almost 6 years. I've sang for 6.5, almost 7.
Okay.
Then I did drums for 4.
Oh, then we got a whole band.
I was a DJ for 3 in Old Town as well.
Okay. So I'm not
Leo?
I'm not competing with you by any means, but when I was a kid, I played piano for 9 years.
Nice. So I actually played for 10 years.
Oh, okay.
I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding.
I don't know how long I've been singing, and I've been a karaoke host for about 13 years.
Nice.
I host trivia too.
No way.
It's kind of like a cool little, and that I feel like that plays into it, right? Because you're getting it's like marketing. You get your name out there, your face out there.
So where have you done karaoke stuff?
Well, let's touch upon that after our next break.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So
I was like, okay, I guess this is the about business section, but
we're almost there, Miss Rogness. Hold on one second.
Is capturing attention. That's what we're talking about, right?
This is real, Robert.
Oh, this is real life, and
This
this
is
is a real commercial. So hang on one second. We'll get back to the guys from Fantastic Media.
I'm a perfectionist that understands that there's no such thing as perfection. I was, as an entrepreneur, sitting alone in an office. I was the owner, the managing partner, but who do I talk to? How do I find out that other people are really in the same boat? Let me create what I wanted, because that's what others are apparently going to want to. When you're doing business, it has to have a purpose. One of those purposes has to be fulfillment. How is what I'm doing affecting people? Here we are, a networking group where everybody wants to get together. It's why we network. We want to learn more. We want to make connections. Hi, my name's Dan Kite, and I'm the CEO of OurCEONetwork. And this is our CEO Network.
Thank you, Dan Kite from OurCEONetwork. Shared office space needs, call us here at OurCEONetwork for your shared office space needs. Kelsey.
Oh my God.
Uh-oh, did we lose your audio? I think we lost your audio. Miss
Wow.
Rogness.
Okay, I'm back. I'm
Yes,
sorry.
there you are.
I hit mute because I wanted to be quiet. Type in the questions though and keep giving us the love with those heart emojis. Wow, emojis are good too with anything good you are hearing today, and keep those comments and questions coming. We also have our giveaway at the end of the show, 2 giveaways. So
Dose.
stay tuned. Dose.
Thank you, Ms. Rogness. So I lost track of what we were talking about before, but I had to cut us off because we do have commercial breaks. We do have sponsors that want to be part of us. So the first question in, I'll let Kelsey answer that, but we are back here with Fantastic Media, Colton Collins and Jacob Fann, the owners of Fantastic Media.
Happy
This is
to
our
be
Q&A
here.
question. This is our Q&A question. So this is open. So now we can just stop being formal and let things just fly.
Wait,
So,
we were being formal?
I don't feel like we've been formal at all the whole time, so that's fine.
yeah, I was trying to be.
Perfect.
That's why you guys all have the button ups and I'm wearing reindeer sweater.
Yeah,
Got it. Got it.
we have a dress code.
This
Yeah.
is my formal.
Yeah.
So
Anyway, yes.
question.
We have
right?
no pants on, so it's just the shirts. Yeah.
Oh, perfect. That's what I wanted to know. So the question from the audience, so who are the local celebrities that you work with? Are you allowed to say first off? And if you are, I guess, who do you work with that is famous?
Yeah, I don't know. That's a great question. I don't
Yeah.
know if we're allowed to say.
We're gonna
to
have
be
to.
honest
We're
with
gonna have
you.
to look at the
So
contract.
I'll be honest. We do work with a couple NFL players.
Yeah.
Okay. As well as we work with a lot of different social media influencers. So top end influencers on Instagram that have, let's say, 500,000 or more followers. But yeah, we work and do some work for some NFL player.
So I guess maybe a better question then, how did you get involved with those celebrities that you work with? So without saying the names, like how did you stumble upon those people? Were they friends or like you're just
Yeah, for
do you
sure.
hang out at the Biltmore bars? Like open?
Yeah. So we were both ball boys for a while. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
So both of the celebrities that we work with right now, they came from referral networks and people that we know and stuff like that. So it was kind of something that we continued to work over a certain period of time. I can say that both of them played for the Cardinals, and they also played for other teams before that. So they're local. So that's kind of, it made that connection kind of easy. A couple of the other influencers that we work with that are blue check certified and stuff like that doesn't mean anything to me or you maybe, but on platform, I guess that's a big deal. Some of them are not in the state, and we got that through, them seeing what we were able to do for businesses and certain things like that. I guess to answer that question, it's just through referrals and it wasn't a cold lead or a cold call, that's for sure.
Yeah, usually in that industry, it's not like a cold. Usually these got, a lot of what I notice is a lot of that they have the connections and things like that. And it was from referrals and just doing work and getting, it was kind of a luck of a draw of that person that we worked with that owned that business has a good friend that plays in the NFL, and that's kind of what it led to. So
Right.
Yeah, and I think there's probably two takeaways from that. Is like, if you're honest and true to yourself and you follow your passion, people are going to follow that. People are going to naturally acclimate to that. The other part is your network. Don't piss people off, to be honest. I mean, treat people with respect and kindness, even when they fault you. I think the biggest thing that I've learned in my whole journey is to continue to give. and not necessarily always give your time, because I think, and you guys kind of mentioned that in our offline call, is to give your time a little bit in order to build your portfolio, in order to build your business a little bit. But at some point, you know, you have to understand your value, correct?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I
Definitely.
mean, we talked, I mean, my first 10 to 15 clients we practically did for free to be able to build a portfolio and to, you know, create that relationship and build a network of referrals, right? All our business has been practically word of mouth referrals. And like I said, it's led to opportunities. And that's especially in marketing, you know, they'll tell if they're not in like the same, you know, if they're not competition, it's very easy to spread. You know, but if you don't do a good job, they'll tell all these people, right? So it's very important to do well and be respectful, be ethical. And that's something that we're really big into, is ethical and all about reputation, because today we live in a world to where, I mean, everyone knows everyone.
Right. Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think Kelsey and I are it's very similar in the fact that we like to try different things, and you know, this show being one of them. But getting into karaoke, that's been something that I've gotten into as college. You know, I get out there and pelt one. I do have my songs.
Yeah.
Stick with that are to my voice, and so but that also plays into, sometimes you have to sing songs or do things that you feel comfortable with or that you're able to do. Sometimes you can stretch it and push it. Like I'll try to push some Bon Jovi out there.
There you go.
But he does have a high key, man. I can't always hit that.
He definitely does.
And Kelsey's heard it. I mean, she'll probably be honest with you, be like, don't ever let that guy with a microphone.
I gave the microphone back.
And that's how we met, honestly. And again, that goes back into what you guys were talking about as far as building a network and who you know. Because it took several conversations for Kelsey and I to finally get together and start doing all these silly things like wearing reindeer hats and eating jelly beans and weird things for another thing we did.
I mean, it's almost too that you have to, you know, meet almost trial by error. You have to meet so many people. You know, the formula is X amount of people to have a connection sometimes. And, you know, maybe it's boom, boom, boom. You have 3 connections in the same night in the most platonic sense ever. But sometimes, you know, you go a month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, and you don't pass out any business cards. Everyone's like, oh, mortgages? No, I don't delve. And like,
right.
It depends on, you know, a couple things too. And I'm sure with marketing, that's a thing. Presentation, it depends on your likability, as much as that sucks to say.
Yeah.
But,
100%,
you know,
100%. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, if you're not likable, to some extent, you're, you know, you don't have that same, I feel like, business pull. And I'm not saying I'm the most likable person in the world, but, you know, I like a lot of people. So I feel like that translates well to, you know, that, oh, like, I know this person, I want to work with this person. So, and I think Robert's the same way, where people meet Robert and they like his personality and his laugh and his Yoda. And then they're like, you know, drawn to that connection. So
don't you talk about my Yoda.
Dude, yeah, he's got a good laugh for sure. It's awesome.
It's a machine gun laugh. No, and I think the takeaway too from what I'm listening to Kelsey, and I'm sure you guys will agree, so you'll piss some people off. You will not make everybody happy. And I think, you know, to start off in any kind of business, you spend so much time chasing after deals, chasing after people that you know aren't going anywhere, but you got nothing else going on. And so sometimes you just got to let those people go.
Yeah, I mean, I totally think that in this business, especially from a, you know, a prospecting and acquisition and sales point of view, if that's kind of the road that I'm thinking we're going down for a second, and making those connections, right? It is kind of the law of large numbers. You know, you would hope that if you bring 10 people into the office, you're closing at least 1 or 2 of them, or at least you should be. I totally understand the likability factor. And I also know at the end of the day, you know, we've talked to some clients. We have a DC Family Medicine is, you know, like a medical family practice that's up in the DC Ranch area. We've worked with them for a while. And before they started working with us, they let us know that, you know, one, he's a really down to earth guy, right? He worked with his previous marketing agency and marketing company for 5 years without ever getting 1 new patient. And that's a rare situation. I guess what I'm leaning towards is even if someone really likes you and you're really likable, from a business point of view and ROI, they're only going to put up with that so long before they're kind of bleeding cash. You know?
And that's absolutely what I was saying with Robert said, what's the number one reason someone switches? And maybe I was going more like long-term with it,
For sure.
but customer service. If you're not getting customer service in the aspects that you expect, no matter what your expectations are, then you're probably going to search for someone else, no matter what business you're actually in, no matter what sales company. So I feel like it wasn't marketing specific, but.
And I feel like you should demand that respect back. I mean, if you're going to be a customer, offer customer service, that people should return the favor, I suppose, or be respectful of that. Otherwise you just cut them off and move on. And we're so afraid, entrepreneurs and some of the people we deal with are so afraid to say no, and so afraid to just let people step all over because they have no other business, or they're just trying to get their name out there.
It's so intimidating too, because especially when you're starting out, I mean, when I first was on my own as a loan officer, it would be, I had some people that I was like, hey, I'm on vacation, but I'm more than happy to help you. Let me get set up. What time do you want to meet? I'd bring all my stuff on vacation to make sure I could work still. And, I would set up in my best friend's kitchen right before her baby shower and like, okay, awesome. Call at 9:00. And then I call, nobody answers. I'm like, okay. And, you waste that time. And then 2 hours later you get a call and it's like, hey, you're free now. Right. And it's like, I gave you the details. I tried to be upfront. And at that point, is that person wasting more of your time, or are they, actually a down to earth, genuine client who just forgot the time? And you have to make that decision. It's not always an easy one to fire a client.
Right.
Yeah. And as we come to the end of our show, we're getting there. I got about 6 minutes left. We do have one audience question left. I think we can probably, if you guys see that, if you guys want to handle, or Kelsey, do you want to read that to the guys? Or?
Can we talk about Facebook groups versus pages, pros and cons, which is better for a business, or should you have both? How much do you use TikTok for marketing, and is it effective? That's like a couple questions in one.
Right? Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that could be a whole hour in itself.
Fire away, my man. Go ahead.
We got about 2 minutes, so go ahead.
So short version.
What I would say is
yes and yes. Take care.
Yeah, right. To try to answer it as short as possible, of course, with the Facebook group, you can't run ads right now. So of course, a Facebook business page, you're going to be able to run ads. But there are a lot of businesses, Facebook groups are becoming really big because it creates more of a community atmosphere, right? So like we have a glitter company, for example, they have a Facebook business page, but as well, they have their own Facebook group of customers that have ordered that allows them to have exclusive deals, to talk to each other, to share glitter. So it creates more of a community atmosphere and a different message. And then when it comes to TikTok, it depends on the business and it depends on your market. Of course, TikTok is really big right now, and it's kind of one of those platforms that's really hot right now. But if you're a certain business and your demographic is not in that age range on TikTok, there's no point to market. Like I said, I believe in marketing on platforms. You market on platforms where your target audience is. So that's what I would say. Some of my influencers are really big on TikTok, and they market brands that their core audience of that age range is on TikTok rather than the other ones. So that's what I would say.
That's a long and short answer of it.
Yeah,
right. I got questions. We got 10 seconds. Oh my God, this guy over here. There's a lot more, man. That was short for him.
So
trust me.
it. Yeah.
So there'll be ways to contact you guys, for more information. So as we come to the end of our show, we have a couple last minute things that we have to announce. So I'm going to get into mine first, and then Kelsey can talk about the giveaways. Because, for you guys that hung on as long as you did, we have some special prizes for you. So with that said, let's go here. If you want to market your business here with us here at Our CEO Network, we create your marketing videos, offer you social media management support, and highlight you at our events such as today's call. Instant messages here at our, look at that. I'm all tongue tested. Instant messages here at Facebook at Our CEO Network for details about becoming a sponsor and marketing opportunities. Oh my God, Miss Kelsey, you got the giveaways. What are we giving away? What are we giving away today?
So there's 2 giveaways, one from Fantastic Media and one from our CEO Network. Fantastic Media's giveaway is free 30. Oh, I can talk. Free,
We're both the same today. It's horrible.
a free 30-minute consultation and 1 month of free social media support.
I don't know. I don't know if we figured
who
out how
wins
to
that?
divide that up.
Is it divided or together?
How do we how are we doing this, guys? You guys decide if we have a number winner. If somebody calls in, if somebody gives their first child, you'll give them a month of free social media. Whatever. You guys
Yeah,
want.
absolutely. So if there's 2 kids, it's 6 months. If there's 1 child, it's just 1 month. No, so I mean, if they call in, yeah, we will absolutely do a marketing consultation for free, and then we can do their first month as well.
Well, let's see if we can put that number up there. So if they call, let's see, they call you, right, Colton, at this number?
Yeah, correct. Yeah, they can call me or they can email me as well. Oh man, who's that guy? What in the world?
It's a lot more.
Oh my God, yeah. Yeah.
That guy must be in marketing.
Yeah, that's a serious. I'm gonna look just like that when they call.
Is that a street in Phoenix?
Yeah, that's right in the middle of the street in downtown Phoenix, right by the courthouse.
I wanted to make sure I was like, that looks familiar, but I don't live in Phoenix. So
Yeah, it's really familiar. Yep, I just got out and it was good. So
I know we're being goofy, but let's announce that.
I'm so sorry. I just wanted to know who gets out in traffic. Anyway,
let's announce that giveaway one more time.
Okay, Fantastic Media, free 30-minute consultation and 1 free month of social media support to the people who call or person who calls. I guess the first person gets it. They'll determine that probably. Call Colton at 480-490-8049.
That sounds perfect.
That's
And then
perfect.
we don't have a slide. Well, we do have a slide for the next giveaway, but what is our next giveaway, Kelsey, while we're setting that up?
Our CEO network, it's a $100 giveaway for liking and making our page one of your favorites. We actually showed you how to do that on the last video.
Look
You
at
and
this.
four
I put this together.
Yes. You and 4 other of your friends have to do the same. Send the names of you and the 4 friends who favorited our page. Screenshots work, I believe. Send them to our CEO Network DM and you'll be qualified to win the $100 prize once verified. The winner will be announced at next week's show.
So if you're looking at the slide right now,
There's my name.
There's 2 ways. There's 2 ways to go ahead and like us on our Facebook page. And one is mobile, one is on the desktop. So if you go to the mobile and you find those little dots right here, I don't know if you can see the cursor. If you hit those little dots and then you go to your favorite section on the page manage and hit favorite, you hit that favorite button, we will go ahead and mark you as a like. And then if you go to your desktop, it's also follow the 3 buttons and add us as one of your favorites. So if you go and do that now, I got the $100 right here. Look at this, right here.
oh my gosh.
So if you guys go ahead and do that, you and 4 of either your friends go ahead and like us and put us as your favorite. You're invited down here, and you can be part of our show in a future broadcast. You can meet the guys at Fantastic Media. You can also meet us here. Kelsey, you can meet her too if she ever decides to come down to the office.
I can make a special visit. I'll bring the reindeer ears.
Yes, then Kelsey would promise to bring the ring to ears. So we will announce that winner. When will we announce that winner? At the end of the year? Happy New Year's.
I thought you said it says next week.
Oh, next week. Then yes, next week.
Next show, but it's almost the end of the year.
We'll eventually get our stuff together. But yeah, go ahead and do
I had
that.
it together.
I know. So that's it. That's today's show. If you guys any last words, anything you want to extrapolate or talk about, you got about no seconds.
No, I think we're good, Jake.
We're good.
Yeah.
We're good.
Okay.
So from all
giveaway we're offering there. So.
from all us here at Our CEO Network, Ms. Kelsey Rogness, thank you for co-hosting today. Colton, Jacob, thank you from Fantastic Media. We will see you guys next week.
Thank you.